So chaos erupted as Lamont Roach just punched Gervonta Davis backstage at a boxing event after Tank canceled their highly anticipated lightweight clash. Yeah, you heard that right. Gervonta was set to face Lamont on March 1st in what was supposed to be his last fight before retirement. But at the last minute, Gervonta pulled the plug on it. And guess what? Lamont was not having it. This whole thing went down backstage at a boxing event, and it was straight up mayhem. Let's break it down.
Thank you guys. Thanks all day, baby. Thanks all day. He's the word.
Shit.
He's the word. Oh boy, that baby. All right, guys. Turn out the face, please. Ready to talk right here. He's the word, baby. Come on, man. Please. Just show up. Back to. Show it back.
Here's how it all went down. Lamont and Gervonta crossed paths backstage at a private event. Now, before anyone knew what was going down, fans thought this was just another round of trash talk between the two to hype up their upcoming fight. I mean, we've all seen it, right? Fighters jawing at each other, trying to sell tickets, get that attention, keep people talking. Lamont was firing back at Gervonta, throwing some heat in the verbal sparring. But then, Gervonta dropped the bombshell that completely flipped the script.
How you retiring?
What trash? What changed? What made this shit trash? Garbage.
If you got the opportunity to sign a prospect for GTD, who will be?
Tomato.
Gervonta, something should have happened during this time, because when I saw you at the Frank Martin press conference, it looked like you were like the talks about retirement was not even discussed at this moment. And now it's something you keep on repeating. Is it just because obviously what you've done through boxing since you were a kid and everything?
Fed up with the whole
Where's Calvin Ford? Is Calvin Ford or Leonard Edelby? Usually they're around to.
You think you might be gaining the love for it though? You never know. Like say you got to walk today.
Out of nowhere, Tank hit Lamont with a straight-up disrespectful comment. "I'm not fighting a nobody like you." Yeah, you heard that right. He basically told Lamont that he wasn't worth his time anymore. And that's something that's been making a lot of waves in the fight world lately.
The fact that Lamont Roach is as familiar with Tank Davis as he is, it goes beyond them fighting in the amateurs. They've spent time in camp together. He's been around Tank. He's seen Tank up close and personal, whether he's in the ring with them or not. That matters. When you know a guy's rhythm, when you know their speed, when you know what they're thinking, that changes everything, you know? Saying all this to say that because I know we got a lot of people. It don't matter. When he get hit, he going to sleep. Just wait for it. This might be a fight until he gets hit. And again, he's tasted that before. So if he gets hit and he doesn't go away, we got a fight on our hands, you know? I think it's a good fight. I think that there's better fights for Tank Davis, but this is a good fight for him.
Gervonta, looking all calm and collected, was just dismissive, like Lamont didn't even deserve to step in the ring with him. And that's when Lamont's whole vibe switched from trash talk to pure, unfiltered rage. Now, at first, the people around them were like, all right, cool, they're just hyping the fight, right? But nah, it got real. Lamont's face went from intense focus to straight-up fury. He wasn't just gonna sit there and take that kind of disrespect, especially after all the work he'd put in leading up to the fight. Without thinking twice, Lamont lunged at Gervonta, and boom, punches started flying, and it was absolute chaos. The whole room was shook.
Just overall being something that he's not been in the ring with. I'm the total package, and honestly, sometimes I think he doubts himself. But I'm a competitor, and I feel like I'm the best. So I'm a show up.
When he talks about you not bringing your family, what goes through your mind when you hear him say that?
I ain't worried about that.
And if you thought it couldn't get crazier, both of their entourages immediately jumped in, making the scene even messier. Everyone started brawling. Security was scrambling to keep it under control, but the tension was so thick you could feel it in the air. There was no stopping this storm. It was a full-on fist fight backstage, with members of both camps throwing punches and just going off.
beat his ass for
can't
y'all
do
talking.
shit with.
For
I don't
real.
give a fuck.
So I better be quiet.
I don't give a fuck if y'all was
all that
quiet,
ski
y'all was-
mask
if
and all
y'all was
that.
loud,
They got the
whatever
whole
the fuck
hood
you
over
talking
there,
about.
like twisted up. I don't give a
Y'all
about none
can
of
do
that.
whatever
I don't
y'all
care about
want.
none
My
of that.
mother, he
I don't
can't
care
stop
about no
nothing
hood,
over
no
here.
none of that.
Not at all.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna him up.
Not at all. Never. Nothing's
Well,
gonna
y'all
get f***ed
under
up
y'all
over here.
face
What do I look like getting f***ed up?
Okay. Okay. Okay.
That shit ain't never gonna stop nothing over here.
And he gonna pay for it. I guarantee
can't.
he pay for it.
I can't.
I guarantee it. I
Calm
guarantee
down.
it.
Calm down, brother.
Come to the fight. Come to the fight.
They probably gonna
Come
get
to
you
the fight.
fucked up.
Come to the fight.
Look, fool. Hey, fool. This me and you, fool. This me and you, fool.
Tank.
This me and you, fool.
Yeah.
Don't worry about them. They might get you. They gonna trick you out your spot. They gonna trick you out your spot, fool. Don't worry about them.
Come on, stop. Y'all know what's going on. Y'all know how I'm coming. Y'all know how I'm coming. So stop it. Y'all gonna make it hard for him. That's what y'all gonna do. Y'all gonna make it hard for him.
It took multiple security guards to finally tear them apart, and even then, they had to separate the entourages from each other before things escalated even further. It was like something straight out of a movie, and you could tell Lamont wasn't done yet. He was heated, but the real drama was just getting started. Hear me out. Gervonta Davis is one of the hottest names in boxing right now. The dude's got power, speed, and that killer instinct that fans love to watch. His fight schedule is always huge news, and his matchups are always lit.
Go. Rip him out.
Oh God.
Come on, work.
How big is that?
All the way up. Work. Come on. Get up there, come on. Jump. I'm jumping. There you go, jump. Come on, jump. There you go, jump, Come on. Come on, baby. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to the beginning.
When it was announced that Tank would face Lamont Roach on March 1st, fans were buzzing. Plus, Lamont was hungry for a shot at Tank. It seemed like the perfect matchup. Two guys in their prime, both coming off big wins, both hungry for that title shot.
My whole family is from DC. My whole family, like my entire family.
Don't bring them.
For what?
Bring them.
For what?
Don't bring them. I'm telling you.
They
don't
gonna
bring 'em.
celebrate with me. You hear
Don't
me?
bring them.
It's gonna be a party on your floor.
I'm gonna let y'all know, son. His father was up here shaking
it's
on the
gonna
what's
be-
the name? He was shaking on the
Pops.
on my kids. He was shaking on this thing. On my kids, he was
never.
shaking.
Don't
Never.
say, bro.
That's cap. What I about to say?
How you gonna say it's cap? And
It gotta
how
be.
you gonna say it's cap? I'm watching them.
Gotta be. Hey.
Somebody
What's
lying.
good?
Hey.
Yeah, somebody lying. Somebody lying.
Hey. I'm
Okay,
glad my
Tank,
name is somebody.
But there's a twist in this story. Gervonta had been talking about retirement for a while. It was no secret that he was considering hanging up his gloves.
That's why I don't want to box no more. I want to do therapy, right? But I feel as though if I do therapy, it will lose the fire that I have inside me. I want everything out of me, West, so I don't never think about fighting again. I don't think about even getting angry, you know what I mean? Because I have 2 girls, 2 daughters. I'm wanting to be much softer, you know what I mean? Be more humble and things like that.
But did any of us think it was coming this early? Especially during the prime of his career? Not at all. So, when Gervonta dropped the bombshell, it took everyone out by surprise.
I'll turn things over to you, Tank. This is a huge fight for the DMV area. Does that add a little extra motivation, him being from DC, from Baltimore, going into this fight?
Not really. Like, I've been coming up and coming to DC like for a minute since I was young, so I don't really see like, you know, like the.
It's more so
the
for the
back
crowd. It ain't necessarily between me and him, DC, Baltimore. But like for the crowd, it definitely is. As a area thing, it is.
Now, Tank, Roach said earlier today that, you know, he feels like the guys that you've knocked out recently don't have a chin. What's your response to that?
We gotta test his chin out. Come watch the first.
We ain't on that. Motherfuckers don't hit me.
What's your reaction to that, Lamont? You said, you know, you feel like guys.
That's what we gonna be in there for. He same thing. He gonna try to test. I'm gonna try to test.
You seen my post, right?
You said, which one?
Well, I told you to leave the kids home.
My son gonna be front and center.
How I'm going, I'm trying to get so much out of this and get away from it. Like, I have a house on an island. Y'all won't see me again type shit. Like, that's how I'm trying to beat. I'm trying to beat all this type shit. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to be around this too much longer. I don't even want the spotlight. Y'all can have it.
I guess it was the perfect way to go out on top, right?
I ain't gonna lie, I ain't really trying to be in this too much longer. That's the answer right there for you.
How old are you now? 28?
28.
Yeah. How much longer are you expecting to do it?
Once I get them guys out of there, I'm gone.
Is that right? Let's say like 30-ish, something like that? Why do you want to get out so soon?
I want to just help people that's coming behind me. I feel as though that's more important. Future.
Is that why you got Lamont Peterson and Anthony on this card?
They was before me, but they're trying to do my good deeds. I feel as though it's something that is installed in me. There's loyalty. I feel as though that's something that people are missing out here. I feel as though if you're in a position to help somebody, help them for the right reason.
And then, out of nowhere, just weeks before the fight, Gervonta cancels the fight. No explanation, no build-up, just a random last-minute decision to pull out.
You know, while he mentioned being retired, he also seems like he's got a plan before retirement, which I appreciate. Listen, man, life is about planning. And if anything, consider that a part of his plan. He knows what he wants to do, and he knows what he's trying to do before he gets out of here. You know, at the same time, like Terrence, for instance, I don't talk to Terrence about retirement. He'll ask me sometimes like, how you feel, how is that kind of stuff. I try not to be overly excited about it. I'm excited as heck to be retired. But when it comes to Terrence, it's my boy. What I can is put bugs in his ear, in his head about wanting to be retired, because I know once the closer you get to wanting to be there, the closer you are to there and further away from actual competition, you know? So, Tank, you know, while he mentioned being retired, he also seems like he's got a plan before retirement, which I appreciate.
Fans, including Lamont, were left shocked and frustrated.
Tank says that he's going to retire at the end of next year. Do you think he has one foot out the door?
Yeah, for sure. I think that was a mistake for him to say that, especially in front of me. So, you know, I'm going to just take advantage of him and show him why he shouldn't have said that or why he shouldn't be contemplating that.
Lamont had been training hard, hyping up the fight for months, and now he was left in limbo.
Be his ass. Y'all talking. For real. I better be quiet.
I don't give a fuck if y'all was quiet, if y'all was loud.
They got the whole hood over there, Tank. Like, twisted up. I don't give a fuck about none of that.
Y'all can do whatever y'all want. My mother, he can't stop nothing over here.
None of that.
Not at all.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna f him up.
Not at all. Never. Nothing's gonna get f***ed up over here. What do I look like getting f***ed up?
Get this, Lamont Roach is a professional boxer, but like most fighters, he's got pride. This fight was huge for his career. It was the kind of opportunity you don't let slip away. And when Gervonta canceled at the last minute, Lamont's patience snapped. He'd been working for this moment, putting in the hours in the gym, prepping mentally and physically for the biggest fight of his career.
One of the things that's happened to me over the years is rapping gets harder, but rhyming gets easier. If that makes any sense.
But now, not only was the fight off, but he was left looking like a fool in front of fans and the media. Word started circulating that Lamont wasn't going to take this lying down. You've got to understand, in boxing, ego plays a massive role. Lamont had been calling out Gervonta for a while, and now it felt like he'd been disrespected. The boxing world was talking about it non-stop. Everyone was speculating why Tank pulled out, whether it was personal, whether he wasn't ready, or if he just didn't want to face the heat from Lamont. But Lamont was fuming, and he wasn't about to let Tank slide, which is where the brawl came from.
They talking, they talking, they talking, they talking, they talking, but you know I get, you know I gonna 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 get, I'm a real gonna get, a real machine, you know I gonna get, a real.
Now, I know what you're thinking. Was this a publicity stunt? Honestly, it could have been. But I don't think Lamont was playing games here. He looked genuinely pissed off. And Gervonta? Well, he looked like someone who wasn't expecting the heat to come from Lamont, especially when he thought he could just cancel the fight without consequence.
What do you think of the announcement of the Gervonta Davis Roach fight?
I think that, you know, he's had a lot of criticism, but it's not a bad fight. You know, Lamont Roach is a world champion. He's smaller than Gervonta Davis. The problem is not many people are aware of who he is or his ability. But he can fight. I don't think it's a huge fight, but not a terrible one.
For Lamont, this was a make-or-break moment, a chance to finally get noticed in the boxing world. Sure, throwing punches might not have been the best move, but it sure got people talking. In a sport where respect is everything, Lamont took a huge risk by going after Tank like that. But honestly, it worked. People started paying attention. Everyone knew that Lamont was no pushover, and if Gervonta thought he could walk away from him without a fight, he had another thing coming.
Would you consider you and Gervonta friends?
Friends, probably.
Is it going to be hard to go in the ring and fight your friend?
Not at all.
Are you all going to be friends after?
Yeah, why not?
Either way it goes.
Both making money.
But you guys are making each other bleed.
Hopefully I just make him bleed.
Oh, true. Okay.
So, what happens now? First off, you've got to think about the fallout. For Lamont, this might actually be a blessing in disguise. His name is all over the headlines, and whether you like him or not, you're thinking about him. Sure, he might have burned some bridges with Gervonta, but it's hard to ignore the fact that Lamont showed fire, something that boxing fans absolutely respect. For Gervonta, the situation is a little more complicated. The dude's already talking about retirement, and now this? It's going to be hard for him to walk away from the sport without answering some serious questions.
Bro, yeah, I know, but I don't want to do him crazy because he's like, you know, on the come up. So I don't want, you know.
But big boy to lose, so you gotta give him a lead.
Yeah,
you know.
stay, you know what I mean? I would wild out because he tried to do that with the Floyd shit. Just, you know, stay in shape, young champ. Stay in the gym.
Was this a move to avoid a tough fight, or was it just a personal issue that led him to cancel? Whatever the reason, Tank is going to have to face the music. Whether he fights Lamont in the future or not, this backstage brawl has added more fuel to the fire.
I'm gonna slap this when I see him.
Why is that, Tank?
I'm gonna really slap this shit up. I see him.
At a Teofimo?
Yeah.
What you think about Teofimo calling you and Crawford a friend?
I just said what I said.
Do you think his demeanor gonna change if he get in front of you?
Yeah, cause they all put. You see what Keyshawn said when I said what I said on Twitter. I try to provoke him. He don't like when people call him. What I call him. To provoke him to do something. He ain't come with that same energy. He called me a prop because I'm light skinned. Yeah, I bet. No. Who have Shakur? What have Shakur done? What have he done in the sport? He haven't done nothing. The young one is looking more better than him.
Who that?
The Keyshawn. Keyshawn looking way more better than this. I keep screaming his name. He haven't done nothing. Keyshawn haven't even done nothing.
So what do you say to those who
Y'all
might
keep
be
saying his
afraid?
name for?
So what do you say to those who might be saying that, Tank is afraid of Shakur?
Afraid of what? Afraid of what? Us fighters, if we're afraid of something, it gotta be somebody hitting us and hurting us. Like, he don't have no offense. Everything is defense. Defense only winning basketball and football. That shit winning boxing.
As expected, the internet exploded after the incident. Fans on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok were all giving their 2 cents. Some people were backing Lamont, saying he was just standing up for himself and showing the world that he wasn't afraid to call out the bigger names in boxing. Others were criticizing Gervonta for pulling out of the fight, accusing him of avoiding the challenge. But no matter where you stand, one thing is clear. This situation has given Lamont Roach instant credibility in the eyes of many fans. Whether you love him or hate him, he's no longer just a name on the undercard. He's someone who's willing to go toe-to-toe with one of the sport's biggest stars. So, what's the takeaway from all this? Lamont Roach might have taken it a little too far with that punch, but you can't deny the fact that he's made a statement. As for Gervonta Davis, he's got some serious questions to answer. If you're a boxing fan, you know this is far from over. Whether these two will finally meet in the ring or continue their beef in the media, one thing's for sure. It's only going to get more interesting from here. Let me know your thoughts, fam. Did Lamont have the right to throw that punch? Was Gervonta dodging a fight? Drop a comment below and let's talk about it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insane boxing drama. See you in the next one.